There are many benefits to be gained from ESG practices. Adopting socially conscious policies means being prepared for the realities of today and the demands of tomorrow. If you want to stay competitive, then it's important to stay ahead of the curve. Investors and customers are looking for companies, organizations, and farmers that are not just aware of what it means to be environmentally, socially, and economically sustainable, but who act on ESG standards. My name is Nathana, and over the course of the next 3 videos, we will look closely at each aspect of ESG criteria. Looking at them one at a time will give us a chance to explain them individually and provide opportunities to offer examples of how they can be put into practices. Let's begin with the environmental criteria, because it's the best to know of the 3. We need to understand that meeting the standards for the environmental criteria doesn't just mean protect the environment, but also refers to limiting human interference in the environment, along with repair any damage that has been done. Now, we should remember that compliance with all ESG standards means a high level of commitment from those who work for you and everyone along the entire supply chain. The first step, however, is ensuring that your company culture reflects the importance of environmental issues. Company culture is a mindset that everyone should be living. Remember, change doesn't happen in isolation. It takes everyone to make the changes that will ensure the success of conscientious environmental practices. And the more people who adopt such practices, the more the supply chain itself, from one end to the other, becomes more responsive to environmental issues. Bringing environmental criteria from theory to practice requires analysis of all aspects of your operations. To be sure, this will take a lot of work and some upfront costs that may seem challenging. But with financial control and thoughtful management of resources, it's possible to overcome this challenge and ultimately make your business not only successful, but also environmentally friendly. In fact, being environmentally friendly is an important part of being successful. Also, when adopting measures to mitigate the environmental impact of your operations, you need to carefully analyze the risks involved. Without risks, there is no reward. But it's important to understand those risks so they can be addressed, thereby ensuring the reward. So far, we have talked a lot about the theory of environmentally conscious standards, but now we are going to discuss some important examples of how those standards can be put into practice. Engage employees with sustainable development. Make it important to them. Your employees need to believe in sustainable development. They can't just go through the motions. Engage with your employees, educate them through lectures, meetings, chats, and share materials that demonstrate the importance of environmental responsibility and its benefits for them. That is an important step in establishing a workplace culture that truly believes in the value of environmentally responsible actions. Go paperless with digital technologies. The less paper you use, the less physical waste you generate. And that helps reduce our reliance on trees as a source of paper. This is a small change, but it has big implications. Empty waste baskets, less garbage, less printing, less money spent on ink and printing repair, and it saves trees. This is also a lesson that employees can take home with them and use it in their daily lives too. Waste management. It's no secret that a lot of garbage is generated around the world every day. One of the best ways to fight back against this issue is to recycle. So you should separate your trash according to its materials and make sure there is a collection system in place to gather and recycle it. It's another small change that can have a big impact. And this is something your employee can do at work and at home with the proper mindset in place. Think about it. If more companies, organizations, farms, and individuals do it, the more will follow. So doing your part now will help ensure others do their part in the future. And that's how we'll build a cleaner, more environmentally friendly tomorrow. Use the data to measure the sustainability of your business. What is not measured is not controlled. The more data you have about your operation, the better control you will have over how your operation runs. You can't adopt new practices if you don't know how to fit those practices into your structure. And you won't know if you need to change that structure or not without analyzing your operations. So set goals and monitor the effort it takes to complete objectives. Look at how many hours machinery is used, how much product or fertilizer is applied. Get all the data you can. That way, we will know what will take to adopt environmentally friendly practices. Knowledge is power, the power to change. Promotion of campaigns aimed at raising environmental awareness in the community. Your operation exists into a community where you and your employees live, not just work. So it's important to show through actions your commitment to carry out environmentally friendly practices, such as reforestation of degraded areas. Actions always speak louder than words, and communities are more likely to trust you if you show your commitment to the environment. Additionally, such actions will be known outside the community too, which can have a positive impact on your image and that can influence others in your industry, including consumers, investors, and the other companies and organizations. Reduction of water use. Water is one of our most important natural resource. So conservation of water is a significant part of being environmentally conscious. Be sure to carry out regular inspections for leaks, gather data on water consumption, and capture rainwater so that it can be used in your operations. Further, you can find ways to limit water use on site, such as installing motion-controlled sinks or simply by reminding people to use only the water they need. This is another thing that employees can pay attention to at home. Choose environmentally friendly suppliers. Always do the right thing. That's a general rule to live by. However, equally important in this case is to repay those who do the right thing all through the supply chain. That will influence others to adopt the same practices too. Finally, remember that time is money. You need to be aware that adopting ESG practice requires investment and work and commitment. However, once you have all the necessary systems in place, you will see the gains. You will reap the rewards in the long term. Consider the overall lower expense and the value added to your products or services, which will keep you in line with, if not ahead, of evolving market trends. The sooner you act, the sooner you will be able to see the benefits. Thank you for joining me today for this discussion of environmentally friendly practices. Do you want to learn more about responsible sourcing? Then hit like and subscribe so you will be notified when we post new content. I also invite you to follow the reactions to our videos on Spotify so you can hear one outside perspective. In the description, we will find a direct link to the podcast. Remember, together we can create and maintain a safe, productive, and sustainable environment.